Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a sort of just recap for the Walking Dead preview special, which aired tonight on AMC before the double premiere for Fear the Walking Dead. So I wanted to do this video first tonight before we get into the Fear the Walking Dead stuff. Just to kind of recap, in case anybody missed the preview special. If you did miss it, don't worry. It's really just like an episode of Talking Dead. I mentioned this morning in this morning's video that hopefully we would see some kind of a look back special like they did last year going into the season 7, and I thought that was a really special one that they actually did. This one's called a preview special, but it's irregular for them to do it because you have to have, as Chris Hardwich said, them fly in. So you have to have Scott Gimple fly into the Talking Dead set. Same with Lennie James, who plays Morgan, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who plays Negan, of course. So you have them come in, and it's pretty much just a Talking Dead episode is what it mainly was. So if you did miss it, don't worry, you didn't miss that much, to be honest with you. It's just kind of, there's a few things here, and we'll go through them, some of which we already kind of knew because it's been published in articles online, and I've covered it this summer. From some of what they've said in the interviews going to this season. So a lot of it is kind of stuff that we kind of already knew was coming out in that. And, for some people, of course, it's going to be useful because a lot of them don't read online stuff about The Walking Dead, so they don't know that, the first 4 episodes, for example, Scott Gimple said at the beginning are going to be really awesome episodes, very action-oriented, some of the most action they've ever done, and really exciting. And then after that, he said it sounds like it's going to get back into kind of a regular swing of things. So the first 4 episodes, watch for those guys, are going to be awesome. It's 100 episodes, of course, and he said that first, they're blowing some fuses, and then by the end of the episode, it's exploding. So really craziness in the 100th episode, the premiere, so getting really excited for that. That should be great. We go from there, basically just Chris Hardwich asking them different questions, this kind of thing, and just, like I said, a Talking Dead episode. So we got that. We've got Lennie James, who, of course, plays Morgan in The Walking Dead, thanking the fans for their support, and him thinking that without the fans, he probably would have been killed off by now. So that's kind of cool. And it might be true in a lot of ways. Fan support is definitely, it's definitely required for characters who survive. We've got JDM as Negan, who's got a super sport and a super sweet beard, like a full beard, like a Rick beard. And I'm thinking that they're still filming right now, so he must have this full sweet beard as Negan, so that's going to be cool to see him with the full beard in the probably second half, I'm thinking, of The Walking Dead Season 8. So that should be pretty cool to see. Just a different look for him. And then you've got Lennie James, who says, or kind of comments on from the trailer where he says that he doesn't die, I don't die, and now everybody thinks he's going to die. That's exactly what I said too, as a lot of you guys did. Once he said that, it's like, oh, you're saying you're not going to die? That means you are going to die for sure. He's definitely on death watch for the season after saying that in the trailer for sure. JDM talks about, from Negan's perspective, what it's like to deal with Rick, because Rick is difficult to deal with, being fascinated by the tiger aspect of it, which was funny, and then Negan being super pissed later on. He said that he wants his own tiger as well too, because that's kind of the way Negan is. So that's fun. Scott said that there's going to be some interesting wordplay in the first episode, and that he's hoping no one's going to call him out on it, but now that he said he knows they're going to. And Chris Hardwich did say that, well, it won't happen on the internet, right? Of course, because we don't call people out for stuff on the internet, right? So, yeah. So that's very true. So heads up for that, guys. In the premiere, we'll have to see if there's maybe some funny jokes or things like that, that he kind of put in there for us. So I'm kind of keeping an eye out for that. It really sounds like the premiere from this one is really going to be fantastic. So that's good. But the start of the whole start of the season with the first 4, though, should be something to watch for sure. Okay, so then we've got Morgan. Characters don't come out whole after they meet Negan. So I like that. So from Lennie James, he said that, no matter who it is, once they meet Negan, they don't come out whole afterwards. And I thought that was kind of a cool observation and a cool way of looking at it, because I never thought about that way from that perspective. But it's very true that no matter who they are, once they meet Negan, their world kind of changes, because that's the type of character that Negan is, which is cool. Scott Gimple confirmed that there will not be many bottle episodes this year. So, one thing, if anything, you're going to say is that they seem to hear the feedback that we give. If the Walking Dead community complains about something that they don't like, it seems like they adjust and pivot to that. So that's good to see. It's good to see, because a lot of people complained about the bottle episodes in season 7, and he's kind of confirming here for us that there's not going to be many going forward. Somebody asked a question about possibly a Carol bottle episode. He said maybe in the future, but definitely not this season. He also confirmed that Maggie will not have her baby in season 8, so that was a good confirmation too. We would have thought that she wouldn't anyway, unless there's a time skip. So maybe season 9 would have to look at for that, or maybe at like the very end or something. At best, but he said no, like no baby season 8. So there's that. The Negan Gabriel scene sounds like it's going to be pretty funny, and he said that there's glimpses of Negan's past in there as well too, which sounds like it's going to be kind of cool too. Would love to see them do a TV series version of the Here's Negan Walking Dead comics, which is his origin, his backstory, and all that. Lucille and everything that happened to him in the past. I'm really excited personally to see his backstory. So the more they kind of give us of that, if they do a whole bottle episode of that, personally, I will not be one complaining if we get a bottle episode of Negan's past whatsoever, because I think that'd just be awesome. Eugene, so you got Josh McDermott, who talks about Eugene not compromising who he is or doing what it takes to survive. I guess, from the beginning, if you think about Eugene, he is kind of a liar, right? I'm smarter than you, right? That's who he is. So he uses his mind to survive. That's kind of who he is, I want to say, and it's interesting the way he says it, but also they talk a little bit about how he had to disable his social media stuff because so many people were attacking him. So that was funny, and JDM said that Negan does like Eugene and he does respect Eugene. So I thought that was cool as well too. He sees how brilliant he is and he really likes Eugene a lot, and he sees him as an asset, really likes him. There's a mention about Jerry and the actor who plays Jerry, so that's fun. And that's true that I do find that the actor who plays Jerry is he's very happy. And I would say he's very charismatic too. Like, people like him instantly, and I felt that as well too when I watched the first episode that he was in this last season, season 7. Then we've got Morgan talking about Cray Cray, a mention of Dwayne, and the audience gets all sad. A couple of fun commercials that I haven't seen yet. Alicia Debnam Carey in Friend Request movie, so I'm not going to watch it, but because this is like one of those horror movies where like witches and stuff. I don't know if you guys saw the commercial during this episode, and also during Fear as well too later on. It's just kind of funny to see her in that because she's in Fear, of course, and her real name's Alicia, and then in the series her name's Alicia, so it kind of crosses over nicely. So I don't know how to feel about that. It's like new generation horror movies where like the internet has merged with horror movies, so I don't know. Then there's also the commercial kind of prepping for All Out War for season 8 for The Walking Dead. You've got Rick with the voiceover, "We've already won" thing. I really like it, but the only thing I don't like about it is kind of the words of the speech are like, we've already won, this kind of deal. It's like the war is just getting underway. It's not over yet. I mean, we got to see this, so for you to be proclaiming that you've already won, and I understand it. I'm not saying that, like, in a commercial, though, from a regular viewer standpoint, you're going to look at that, you're going to say to yourself, like, then why am I going to watch it if you've already won? You guys get what I'm saying with that. He's trying to say that, by fighting and fighting for the future, that's the win. I get it. Yeah, exactly. But I just don't know about it as a commercial. So we got Norman Reedus, who says hi, and there's a few of those, kind of things where you get them saying thank you and stuff like that, and, just quick little clips from the set and that, back and forth. Like the 100th episode thank you video that AMC posted, so there was that. So just a few of those little clips in here. Then we get to see a sneak peek. So this is a sneak peek. Maggie and Rick can't stop now. Been fighting since whatever. You get the Maggie part. Been fighting since the beginning of the farm, prison, whatever. Wherever they went, they're fighting, and they're still fighting now. So just a couple more battles left. They seem to think at this time that this will be it. It'll be one battle, and then they'll be able to crush the Saviors, and then it'll be over. But obviously the season is not going to end with just one battle. There's going to be fighting all throughout, or lots of it this year, and it should be really fun. It's an okay sneak peek. It's nothing crazy. It's just a start of some cool stuff. You also get to see them timing out the herd as it's coming, as it's coming towards them, and they do see it approximately on time, just a little bit late, but it's pretty cool. And as we saw from the trailer, we have a good idea of what's happening here. The herd is being led towards the sanctuary to crush into the Saviors and block them in so they can't get out, and then Rick and the others will go to attack the outposts and maybe get in it with the junkyard group again, and then eventually Negan and the Savers will probably break out and come back, and then fighting and blah, blah, back and forth. And, it'll be a really exciting season. So I'm excited for that. It sounds really good. Yes, Jesus. Yes, you will. We've got Rick to Maggie. The Hilltop is lucky to have you. So there's that, and that's cool. After this, I'm following you. So it's kind of cool how they're making Maggie. They're kind of having her break out to be her own leader of her own, group. So I did like that, because if The Walking Dead's going to go on for a long time, you do want to have, more than just Rick, I think. I think you need that. I think in 16 episode seasons, you have to have more than just Andrew Lincoln carrying the show all the time. So I feel like they're promoting Maggie the last couple years, especially now, and in this you get to see it a lot, to another carry of her own group. She's a full carry. She's a full leader of her own independent thing, and she's somebody who's going to carry the show as well too on into the future. So that's cool to see, because you're definitely going to need that. Probably going to need more than just her. So a few of them, that's most of it, to be honest with you. Morgan. So we got Lennie James, who says there's going to be an awesome one-on-one fight this season, and we're going to get to see some characters from the comics test themselves against each other. I'm thinking that he's talking about Jesus and Morgan. That's what I'm thinking, because we see just a brief part of that in the trailer. I just don't know what it's about. If it's Morgan going cray-cray, that's what he says, going cray-cray, and then Jesus trying to bring him back or something. I'm just not sure, but I am excited to see what happens with that and what happens with Morgan this season. And I kind of hope that Lennie James Morgan doesn't get killed off this year. But it is all out war, so you got to see some big deaths. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what they decide to do. It's not spoilers, guys. I don't know if they're going to kill Morgan or not. I'm just saying that it seems like they might. But at the same time, it'd be cool if he did survive. I'd be happy if he survived too, especially with all the death talk in this one, and just kind of after the trailer when he proclaimed that he's not going to die, right? So you got to watch for that. And that's pretty much it for the preview special. That's really it. So if you missed it, no big deal, guys. If you did see it, let me know what you thought in the comments below. Were there any other things? The question about his staff was kind of funny, so that's cool. You guys can write any comments you have below about anything they said. That's it for my recap. Of course, we'll be back real soon for the reviews for Fear. And as usual, if you guys like the video, please like the video. You can share it, you can favorite, and if you're new and you want to subscribe to the channel, you can subscribe at the bottom left. That's it for this one. I'll see you guys again soon for another video. As always, it's Trev. I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.